Okay, so in order to figure out what this graph is, first there's steps we should take. I think it's always easiest if you can identify at first, is this graph given to us a sine or a cosine curve? And that's based on really what is it doing at the start. To me, this graph looks like it's going to be sine because it doesn't look like it's starting at its maximum value. It's kind of starting right here in the middle of its maximum value and its minimum value. So that's an indicator that this is sine since it did not start at its maximum value. And when I say start, I am talking about what is it doing on the y-axis. That's typically our starting point. So this is a sine curve. You know we're going to have sine of something. The equation of the midline. Well, what is the horizontal line directly between my maximum and my minimum value? My maximum is 0, my minimum is -2. So my equation of y equals -1 is the equation of the midline. What's my period? In this case, this goes back to the very first lesson you did on that Friday we last saw each other. The period is how long does it take for sine to complete one full cycle? How long until I see sine repeat that same pattern? So here we go. We go up, down, and right to there is the period. So the period goes from 0 to 2 pi over 3. So 2 pi over 3 is our period. Now, this is a little bit new. Now, we know the period, based on what you found in the very first lesson, had to be equal to 2 pi over b. So in order to find what my b term should be, I need to take 2 pi over 3 as my period and set it equal to 2 pi over b. Now, at this point, you can cross multiply to solve for b. But hopefully everybody can see that b in this case has to be 3. B is 3. We have an equation of our midline. That means the c term is going to equal -1 from up here. And we can write this out. So we're going to say this equation is y equals, we know we're dealing with sine. The b, the number in front of x, is 3x. Finally, -1. That midline. That is the equation of the graph we are given. So take a moment, pause the video again, try this one yourself, and then I will go over it. Okay, first, am I dealing with sine? Am I dealing with cosine? This one, based on the start, looks like it is starting at its maximum value. So that's an indicator that I'm dealing with cosine. So the equation of my midline looks like my maximum value is at 4. My minimum value is at 3, the number between, 2. I lost the ability to count there. Minimum value is at 2 because our midline is at 3. So y equals 3 is the equation of the midline. Just as a reminder, y equals something, y equals anything is an equation of a horizontal line. Granted, the next thing is a whole number. Period. How long until I see one full weird-looking smiley face? Trace my curve. Ah, there it is, 4 pi. At 4 pi, I see one completion of a cosine curve. So period is equal to 2 pi over b. In order to find that b term, I say, okay, 4 pi is here. I can put this over 1 if I want to cross multiply. I get 2 pi equals 4 pi times b. I divide both sides by 4 pi, and I get b equals 1/2. So I have b. Again, from here, my c value is equal to 3. So we get y equals, we're dealing with a cosine curve of 1/2 x plus 3. There is the equation for that curve that is given. So your next page is your homework, so please complete that. The idea with these lessons as we go on, we will continue to add values into these equations. Maybe next is going to be putting a number in front of cosine and sine. So each time we do it, the old stuff doesn't go away. We just kind of build more and more to make our functions more and more complicated, I guess. All right, email me with questions.